Good afternoon, everybody. You are listening and watching 4 Deep Sports Talk here in the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. Jim Sylvia sitting across from me. He drew bad straw, so he has to look at me across the board. We have the Division 4 Massachusetts Baseball State Champions, the Warriors from Seekonk High School, and Coach, like I talked about, you're just gonna hear Jimmy bail me out. I'm gonna mess up the English language, so just bear with my.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you say he's gonna bail me out. Jacob Janicki, our intern from Franklin Pierce, he is on a well-deserved vacation with his family up in New Hampshire. He'll be back with us next week. If you want to call in, 508-222-1320. And, Coach, let's do a little rundown like we talked about, a little history of your coaching experience, and then we'll pick on Coop for a little bit. We got him in a hot chair to your right. You can watch us. If you're picking us up on the radio, you can watch us and listen to us all on our website, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com.
Yeah, I started coaching Little League. My kid was 9. He's 34 now. Then I coached middle school for a while. Then I was the JV coach at Seekonk High, and then I took over the position of head coach about 16 years ago, and we've been there since.
Nice. So let's dive into this. Let's dive. Oh, you know what? First of all, we got to make sure. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's funny because my coaching experience obviously was at Little League, and when Coach walked in today, he was like, I know you, I know your brother.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's, it's a small world.
Right?
Yeah, we go way back to the All-Star days. And
right,
Yep.
So you remember them. So I got to get a couple quick things on this. This show is dedicated to my mom who passed away on Mother's Day. We have a scholarship. I want to make sure I get out there. We're going to be promoting that in next September. And I want to give a quick shout out to our new chief sports editor. He runs our sports blog. That's Nate Rollins. And we're going to start getting some great stories out there. You'll see them out off of our website. And when Nick gives me the official okie dokie, we got his email out there and more to some of these high school and youth groups. And that's it. I think I did a good job. I caught up. There's no smoke. Nothing's going on. But let's go on. Let's go right into their season. So they ended up, Coach, make sure I get this right, please.
Sure.
You guys finished the regular overall 21-7. Does that sound right?
if you're counting those two scrimmage, we actually were
18
and 7.
18 and 7.
Yeah.
I was going to go 21-5, but hey, what do I know?
It's whatever.
Right? So they started their season. Let me make sure I got it right. They started on April 10th, and this is how it ran down. Stayed in the conference with a win over Old Rochester 6-1, blanked East Bridgewater 8-0 out of conference, beat Case 9-4, Somerset Berkeley 3-2, Hockomock 15-6, beat Fairhaven lost to Fairhaven 3-1. Actually, I got to go back, Coach. I missed 3 weeks. Coop's like, yeah, I know you did. Yeah. All right, with that being said, we have our first caller. And hello, hi, you're first on 4 Deep Sports Talk as I was messing up the schedule. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you, sir?
It's a familiar voice.
Yes, it is.
This guy owe you money? No.
Not yet.
No, it's Bill Whalen, proud principal of Seekonk High School, calling in.
Coach, Mr. Whalen, thank you for calling. Well, do you coach anything over there? Did I get that right the first time?
No, he has a history of coaching middle school baseball.
That's
how we met way back in the day.
Coach,
and he's umpired in the past.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's where I remember the name. That must be so good for the community in Seekonk and at the high school. Just the energy must be unbelievable walking through the hallways, sir.
Oh, definitely. And we had a great crowd come out and support the team, throughout the whole playoffs, and we couldn't be more proud. I just wanted to call in today and congratulate the team and Coach DeMello and his coaching staff on a great season. They certainly really made us proud.
All right, so now that you realize you're also a critic, what could have Coach DeMello done different besides win the state title? Is there anything you think he could have changed in any of those losses during the regular season?
No, he's on a roll, man. I'm not here to critique him at all.
I know.
I enjoy coming out and seeing as many games as I can, and it's been enjoyable for sure.
Come on, Dominic. We all know it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I know. I just wanted.
As long as you win your last game, that's the most important.
Exactly. The principal knows I was kidding. So what do we got?
Yeah.
Did we? What else we got for these state champions coming into the school? Do we have anything else coming up that some people might not know about?
Well, I'm working right now. I have some calls in, and I have a connection I've worked with in the past with the Red Sox.
Nice.
Definitely want to get these guys recognized at Fenway on the field. We've done that once in the past. So we have that in the works right now. So we'll go catch a game at Fenway and be able to bring them out in front of the Green Monster before the game and have them recognized in front of everybody.
This is no pressure, but if you actually have a couple extra box seats for me and Jimmy, we'll be more than happy to represent, and sitting there proudly with a beverage in our hand and some most expensive popcorn, maybe cotton candy and a hot dog. Just saying.
Well, you know what? I think we'll be out in the bleachers, guys, but you're welcome to join us.
All right. Well, we'll meet you in the box seats. I'm all done sitting in the bleachers.
Billy and I go way back. And, Billy, I got a question for you. What's the sense in the community? I mean,
Right.
you're getting a lot. Obviously, you got a lot of support at the games, but now that the tournament's over, is the community going to do anything for these kids as far as, like a lot of schools buy championship rings and stuff and
Right.
sponsorships and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, we've had that in the past, when we won the state championship with the support, getting the championship rings. And I'm hoping that's going to happen again. Just when I drove into the school on Friday morning, I was happy to see 3 signs out in front of the rock. There's a rock right on Arcade Avenue that says Seekonk High School. And there were, 3 signs out there recognizing the championship teams. So, already it's barely any time has passed, and they've already come out and done some things like that. So
That's
the community's
awesome.
always been great. Yeah, and when we recognize the team in public events, everybody comes out to show their respect. So we'll probably do something again in the fall, to recognize them. I think one time, Joe, we did it at a basketball game. It was like a Friday night basketball game. The place was packed, and we were able to recognize them there. So we definitely have some things in the works.
That's great.
That is awesome.
Got to make you guys feel,
Right?
the big man on campus, so to speak, right, in town.
I mean, even the girls were in the smack middle of the stuff, didn't they? They were right in the middle of it, too.
Yeah,
they
the
came
girl-
close.
Yeah, the girls
Yeah,
had
they
an
did.
outstanding year, too, yeah. It was great to see.
They made it to the Final Four.
Yeah, that's not, I mean,
That's nothing to sneeze at either.
I mean, it was
Right.
one of the great moments of the year when we got off the bus with our Final Four trophy as the girls were just wrapping up their game
Yeah.
where they got their Final Four trophy.
that's awesome.
It was great.
That's
Billy, you're
awesome.
gonna have to build a bigger trophy case in the lobby there. And I see that trophy case every time I go to a basketball game at your school. I see that trophy case. You're gonna have to make that thing bigger.
Right. That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
proud of it. If you haven't been to Seekonk High School, as soon as you
Coach, say you cut out. I'm sorry, you cut out. Oh, he cut out big time. Coach, can you hear us? You got to go on the other side of the couch, Coach. You're on the wrong side of the couch. Hello? Coach,
Yeah, I think we lost
you
them.
lost him.
Yeah, we lost.
We lost him. Coach, please call back. And that gives me time to straighten out the schedule I started to mess up. I saw Coop looking at me like, I think he's on the wrong week. But anyway, let's get this squared away. And I love bragging about this stuff. So they started North Attleboro. Now, you're going to think of this. I'm going to mention this, too, because sometimes Division 4 teams don't get that much recognition playing bigger Hockomock teams, right? And I think that's real. And no disrespect to any of these schools. I want to make sure we get the right shout out there. So they went out of conference. They beat North Attleboro 2-1. Beat West Bridgewater 13-3. And like I talked about before, and I apologize if I don't get the dates absolutely correct. Old Rochester 6-1, EB 8-0. EB was another team that made it a bit deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, I can elaborate a little bit on that. We were definitely outplayed in every sense of the game when we played EB on the regular season.
Yeah.
They're absolutely one of the best teams that we put on our schedule in this year. They were probably one of the best teams we faced all year long, from pitching, hitting. I mean, they were just unbelievable.
So then they can, like we said, beat the crosstown rival, beat Caith 9-4, Somerset Berkeley 3-2, Foxborough Hockomock 15-6, Fairhaven in the conference 3-1. Make sure I got my dates right here. Thank God I'm not a GPS. Bourne 9-7, Case again, blanked them 1-0. Attleboro Hockomock 5-3, Bourne 6-0, Greater Bedford Folk not back in the conference 9-4. Lost to Fairhaven, so they got one on you. Apponequet, another big team that went deep, 11-3. Dighton Rehoboth 10-0. Then they went home and home with them, beat them. Lost the first one 10-0. Beat them at home 2-1. Then they actually played them 3 times, like you talked about. 7-0. Finished the regular season with a 6-3 win. Went into the tournament. I feel like a juggler here trying to hold all these papers. Let me see. Hampshire Regional 4-0. Exbridge 7-1. EB 5-2. Dennis Sharmuth 7-4 and became the Massachusetts Division 4 state champions. And Nate Rollins mentioned this to me before. 3 different title changes, lead changes in the Hamilton Wyndham Regional game 4-3. That is so cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, that was definitely out of all our state championship games. Like I said, we've been in 4 in the last 5 years. That is the best team we've ever faced.
That's awesome.
They're a legitimate team. They're unbelievable.
All right, with that being said, we're getting ready to take our first break. If you want to call in, oh my God, call in 508-2. So, Coach, usually I'm up here, but now I'm down here. If you want to call in, 508-222-1320. The Massachusetts Division 4 state champions, baseball champions from Seekonk. We'll be back with Coach DeMello and Coop. I got some great stats on him and the rest of his guys as I'm slowly trying to wind this down. I'm watching the clock and blowing it up here. We'll be right back with them and more right after this.
Okay, we're back for Deep Sports Talk, and our guest from Seekonk High School Division 4 Baseball Varsity Championships. Coach, I want to ask you about, Dom just went over the schedule you had all year. A lot of out-of-conference games. Was that by design, or were you just trying to fill out a schedule? I mean, obviously competition, is a little higher in the Hockomock League, but that brings out better baseball, and your kids have to work harder doing that. And you were successful in a lot of those games.
Yeah, so what we try to do, because we have a gold and a blue division, which means big schools and smaller schools. So everyone in a smaller school, you have to play twice.
Yeah.
So Case, you have to play twice. Fairhaven, Bourne, West Bridgewater, all of those teams you have to play twice. On the other side of the larger schools, you only have to play them once. We're lucky enough that every year my friend at Dighton Rehoboth loves to play us twice. And every year, that usually the only school on the big that play us twice. So we try to find schools that are either Division 1s, Division 2s. We want to play up. with
Right.
the power rankings, MIA power rankings.
Obviously,
You just
playing
have
those schools are going to benefit you if you win those games.
correct, and it's hard for them to play us because a D1 school, if they don't beat us by 5 runs, because that's the magic number for the power rankings, it hurts them and it benefits us.
Right.
So I always try. I reach out to everyone that wants to play. Whoever's listening and wants to play us, we
it's-
welcome you.
So it's by design playing those. those schools.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, Coop, you ready? I'm going to brag about you for a second. All right, adjust yourself in the chair. All right, so he only pitched. He only ended up 5-1. Of course, I'm saying that sarcastically. His ERA was 1.47 with 41 Ks. I almost said a colorful metaphor, just like I did before the show started. That's really congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Cole, the other pitcher, he's a senior, right? Did I say that right? 7-3, 90 Ks, and he was 1.27. So my question to you is, did you play varsity your freshman year?
Barely.
Barely?
I lettered, but I mainly just stayed on JV, and then I got called up for a couple games to relief, and then I played for playoffs.
Then you showed Coach DeMello, see, I can play ball at this level as a sophomore. Congrats. So looking at your schedule, you personally, not the other guys, I don't know how you guys were talking when you guys were having pizza off, when you get a chance to reflect on your games. What team did you want to base your season off of? Was there a certain team you wanted to say, hey, you know what, if we can hang with these guys, I think we have a legitimate shot. Was there any team that came to mind? Or maybe the guys were talking about?
Middle of the season was Attleboro. 'Cause
Attleboro.
It was like our first really big test besides East Bridgewater, which we got crushed by, but then we came back and faced Attleboro, which is a D1 team in the Hawkmock.
Yeah.
And we beat them 5-3. Our other pitcher, Carter, Martin, sophomore as well, pitched a great game. It was probably one of his best pitching performances all year. And I got to relieve him for the last 2 innings, and we beat them in a close game 5-3. And they have one of their best pitchers that's going to Merrimack on the mound. And we hit great. We played defensively great. We pitched great. I think it was the first game where, if we play our best the way we're supposed to be, we can beat any team in the league.
I would say that's a true statement there.
Absolutely. I
You don't
mean,
need a lie detector for that.
like we talked about all the time as coaches, pitching and defense wins games.
Yeah.
You only have to score 1 run
Yeah.
if you play good defense and get good pitching.
And then remember how Coach was telling us before we got on about how we put Crazy Man in the outfield, then brought him in to end the game?
Yep.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I wouldn't, not, being out of it as an umpire, I would have to go look back at the rules because I've been, associate with MBUA. So I'd have to go back and look at that rule and say, oh, wow, that's pretty
No,
cool.
that rule is legit. Coach didn't do anything wrong. In fact, it was like we just said, it was a great move.
It was a great move.
to finish the
Yeah.
game. This young man's had a great season, and the future's bright for you, young man.
Cooper, you playing any other sports besides ball?
I play basketball.
You play basketball?
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, what he said.
Can you dribble between your legs and stuff and all that other stuff like the
Oh, yeah, I
Globetrotters?
guess.
Coach just gave him one of these about basketball.
Oh, man.
Without tripping.
Oh, without tripping, that's so
I'm
long.
asking.
Coach will keep him in shape for baseball.
That's all that matters.
So the basketball is you unwind, you love it. You're obviously good because you're on
like
the team.
it. Yeah, I don't really like practicing that much or anything, but I like going out there and playing, so I play every year.
Hanging with your boys and good. That's good. Like cardio, right? Get running. Well, at least okay, Dom.
Yeah, I hate tryouts. That's the one thing I hate.
Yeah, I
love
mean,
so much.
yeah, I know because you're sitting
I
there.
mean, what's got to be recognized too is the program that a coach put together.
Oh yeah,
5 years in the state finals and winning 4 of them. I mean,
right. That's
You know.
incredible.
and I understand that Cooper has got a sibling at home that's won a couple of them, so he's still trying to catch up. So you need one more, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was last
Oh,
year.
Cooper
That-
has 2 more years to
You
at
get
least
one more in
get
2
one
years,
more to
right?
catch up with his brother.
So, what did you want to do training wise coming into the sophomore season? Was there any hitting the gym? Were you good at hitting the weights? Did
Yeah.
you watch your diet and stuff like that? Because
I stayed-
your generation's so big on that now, which is cool.
I stay
And
consistent.
now my phone's ringing, and it's my knee. I just gotta. Oh, you cut on, but sorry about that, guys. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I stay consistent in the gym, usually around 3 to 4 times a week. In the fall, I was trying to gain velocity a lot more because a lot of my other things throughout my game have been pretty solid, but I just needed to get stronger and throw harder if I wanted to compete at the high school level. So that was like my main priority, and I did that this fall, this winter, going into the spring. I just developed my arm a lot more. So, and that helped me out throughout a lot of other parts of my game. I was focused on lifting and stuff, and it helped me with my hitting, my running, my fielding. Everything felt better once I put strength training into my program.
I promise I'm not being a wise guy. How much weight did you gain from your freshman year to your sophomore year going into the season?
20 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about, Coach, how much did velocity go up? It had to go up.
Quite a bit. He definitely, I would say, at least 5 to 7 miles an hour more than he was on his fastball in his previous year.
And how about your mechanics? Did you change did you work? Are you a stretch guy? I mean, what, Coach?
Yeah, so that was actually the one thing that changed. In the first scrimmage, I went from the wind-up, and then when guys got on, I went from the stretch, and I was kind of, it felt like weird with runners on base. I was kind of, like my mind was just preoccupying that runner all the time, so I was getting a little more inconsistent, so I just changed to the stretch so I could just focus on that more, and it cleaned up a lot more of my mechanics.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have to change anything if there were runners on base.
One more question before Jimmy straightens me out again. Are you a lefty or a righty?
Lefty.
Huh, perfect. I love this kid already.
That's
Perfect.
That's gold. That's gold. I mean, we
Right.
all know as coaches that left-handed pitches is gold. I
Right.
mean, especially the way he pitches, and he's taking care of.
5 to 7
He looks
miles
good. He's
an hour
taking care of
more.
his body. He's working out, and 2 more years, Coach.
Right.
Coach, you're blessed.
We just need everyone to stay in our town,
Yeah, right.
on our high schools to be able to compete.
Right.
Right.
It's always difficult when you lose. Being a small town and losing great players to outside schools
Yeah,
here
yeah,
and there,
yeah.
Fiends, Mount St. Charles,
Right.
LaSalle.
Yeah, you get Table out there,
That's
too.
where we lose most of our guys is to those 3 schools.
But even with that being said, I mean, 5 years in the finals. I mean, you're doing something right. Even if you're losing players.
I've learned a long time ago that you can only coach who shows up,
Right.
and
Just
you
like
can't
just like Little League.
Yep, you can't control the outside stuff. So
Right.
we just try to do. I mean, and we have great talent. Yeah, it's true we lose talent, but the kids that do come to Seacon High School, great kids, and they're willing to work. They bought into the program that we started many years ago. I mean, we have a fall ball program that the captains are the coaches.
That's cool.
Every year they go January, they all get together and they go work out together.
Awesome.
And that's kudos to you with the program that you
Right.
put in place.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but I think we've proven and we've shown to them, their parents, you want to win, this is what it takes. Sometimes it's hard to get people to buy into something that it's
Right.
not what they used to do.
Right.
So it's great, and they're all bought into it.
Especially nowadays, where kids are pulled in so many
Oh, yeah,
directions
it's-
with technology and other things, and
Yeah, and you get kids
to
that-
get them committed is awesome. It's
Yeah,
a big thing.
You get kids that start driving and they need gas money. They get summertime. They get jobs in between work and AAU and the beach, of course.
Right?
Wow. Now, what about you, Coach? Before we get in, maybe I'll ask this. Maybe you can answer this question when we come back from break. We got about just under 2 minutes. So, when we do get back from break, I want to know, like I asked Coop, about your mindset, your coaching staff. When did you decide, or when did you think, like Coop thought it was Attleboro? Was there a team you were trying to base off where you said you thought you were going to make a run, or you thought it was going to be a competitive season this year? Was it? Again, when we get back from break, I'm curious because I like to hear the coach's side of it. You know what I mean? And then when we get back, so we won't get. So me and Jim will make sure you don't get in trouble. We want to go over the roster, make sure we get all the shout-outs. Your staff, you can't do this all by yourself,
No, you can't.
right? And yeah, so I thought that'd be a cool question to come back. And as I'm trying to milk this out, it seems like there's 5 hours left, but there's only a minute 22 left. I can't milk nothing. I'm bad. I'd be bad. I'd be bad in question, and I know that. That's for sure. But yeah. Again, this is awesome having these guys in here. This is so cool.
Yeah,
to get a chance.
we appreciate getting the invite. That's for sure. Wish we had more guys coming out, but like I said, guys would work. AAU.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yep.
doing something. So
Yeah, they're probably umpiring too. Probably making some side money.
Did
I
I help?
mean,
Did I help you with
it's-
that clock?
Yeah, you did. We have 50 seconds left.
It's awesome, like you said, that we're here
Yeah,
to promote high school sports.
yeah.
And to get gentlemen like yourself coming in on a Saturday to do a show is great. I mean, we're the whole idea for these sports is to promote high school sports.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
And get the word out there. So we're trying to spread our wings too, as far
Exactly.
as covering more schools, more everything, giving more opportunity.
All right, with that being said, we will finally step away for the second break. We get back, you can call in at 508-222-1320. The Division IV Massachusetts Baseball State Champions are in studio from Seekonk High School. We'll be back with them and more right after this. Hey, welcome back. You are listening and watching 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. Again, call in 508-222-1320. Coach DeMello, I asked him a couple of questions prior to the break. We finally milked it out. Now he can answer those questions about his coaching staff, his thoughts going into the season, what he thought, and please, love to hear your thought.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with our staff. John Burns is my assistant. He's also our hitting coach. He's been with me from day one. Does a great job with the kids. Sometimes it's difficult to get kids to buy into what we do, especially hitting-wise, coming out of AAUs and all their workouts. But John does a great job with that. My pitching coach is Will Mead. He joined the team in 2022. A young kid out of college that really knows his stuff. He's actually trying to start his pitching academy. Then we have our JV coach this year was Perry Perlucci. He was a former player. Actually, the joke is he's the only one that's won a state title as a coach and as a player. And then we have volunteers that help us out. Paul Sabatini throws batting practice every single day. He has the bruises in his body to show that he does, right, Coop?
Yes, he does.
When we have Ryan Eaton, that's our statistician that does an absolutely fantastic job with the numbers for these kids. So that's basically our coaching staff.
Awesome. Now, what about going into the season? What were you guys think? What were you going to try to base your schedule off on how you thought this team was going to end up, working out like it did?
Yeah.
Anybody on the schedule come to mind?
So going into the schedule, I thought we would be an okay team. We would get our wins. We weren't, be honest, super sure on how Cooper and Carter Martins would be as our 1-2 starter. We knew that Cole from previous years was going to be our stud, the guy that goes out every 5 days or 6 days, even 4 days rest, and take the ball and get us a win, or at least a very competitive game. So as the season went on, we started 4-0, and I'm like, oh boy, this is surprising. And then we lost the
3 in a row.
3 in a row, and I'm like, okay, this is where we are.
Right.
Going to that East Bridgewater game, I felt that we didn't play well. Kids didn't play well. They were intimidated by the pitching and all the hitters they have. I mean, they have some incredible hitters. Manny Del Carmen, the Boston Red Sox, Manny Del Carmen, his son is on that team.
Yeah.
That team can hit.
I actually know him pretty good, believe it or not.
Yeah. So we were outplayed on every aspect of the game, and we had to go back and look at what did we do wrong, or was that just a freaky thing?
Right.
And we started playing a little better. It almost looked like after that game, the kids started gelling. Like they also knew they were embarrassed. I think that game for me is where the big turnaround came. It wasn't on a victory against a good team. It was actually on a loss. Because my thing is you need to lose. You need to learn how to lose to win.
Right.
And I think that really humbled the guys that team is not going to do that to us again. And we ended up playing them in the Elite Eight.
That's a good point. You got to lose to learn to win.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's a great coaching point. And I do have one question about something you said previously about attitudes of kids and buying in. How difficult from AAU to high school? I mean, these AAU coaches, a lot of them think they're, Earl Weaver and Bill Martin, and that's going way back. But how difficult is it for you, Coach, to try and get over that? I'm not saying these coaches are wrong in AAU with their teaching.
Right.
But you have your system, and when a kid comes in, I'm sure they haven't said it to you, but that's not what my AAU coach told me.
Oh my God! I know, right?
Yeah, it's hard sometimes, and then sometimes you have to also humble them. How does that work out now for you?
Right.
Yeah, you're playing against, let's say you're a 15-year-old, you're on a 15U team. Or you're in a high school varsity team, you're not playing 15-year-olds.
Right. Good point.
It's different. It's different. You need to adapt to play what you're playing. Now, if you're a 15-year-old playing AAU and you're playing JV, you're going to fit right in.
Right.
But then we bring you up and you have that rude awakening. Oh, this is not the same thing.
Right.
That's a great answer.
That's
Right.
Coop, how do you feel? You play AAU. How do you feel? Being a sophomore, being on a championship high school varsity team, and now you're going to AAU.
It's gonna feel like a cakewalk for like the first week. I feel like pitching wise, I have a lot of confidence right now. When I step out on the mound, I think I'm the best pitcher, and no one can tell me different. That's just my mindset all the time.
That's awesome.
And
it's good attitude to have.
Like I got a rude awakening on a couple games this year where some kids were hitting off me. Like Dennis Yarmouth, I got pulled in the 4th inning. I think that's like in my starts this year. I think that was like the shortest I've been. They were hitting well, and then. I came back in for the last 2 innings. It was the same mindset. I'm the best guy out here, and no one could tell me different. You still gotta go out and compete every day.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
I think that's just gonna translate to summer ball right now, and it's gonna take a little bit of time to adjust. I think hitting wise, because I was facing 80, 85 plus the whole playoffs, and I'm gonna go to like seeing 75 miles an hour at like 16U or 80. So it's gonna be a little time to adjust, but it's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. So we have breaking news. Make sure I get it up here. So Chief Sports Editor Nate Rollins is reporting the Brockton Boxers has hired Mike Norman Jr. as their new football coach at Brockton High School. He's an ex-alumni. He was the freshman coach, and he is the 3rd Brockton High School football coach within the last 5 years.
That's a lot of turnover.
Yeah, it is a lot of turnover. I want to thank Nate Rollins, our chief sports editor, for getting that out to us. Again, Brockton High School, new football coach Mike Norman Jr., 3rd one in 5 years over at Brockton High School.
All right, back to baseball.
Yes, sir.
Cooper, why don't you give a shout out to your teammates on the team.
Okay, so,
on your team.
we don't wanna get
Obviously,
you
you
in
didn't do this
trouble.
by yourself. You had a pitching staff
Yeah.
that sound like everybody had a good year.
Yeah.
But give a shout out to your teammates.
So we'll start with the captains. Javi Borges, he's going to UMass Dartmouth next year to play baseball. Austin Robinson, another captain. He played first base for us all year. Love the guy to death. He was a great captain. He's going to Virginia Tech to study computer science. Our second baseman, freshman, Kelvin Cabrera, had a hell of a season for a freshman. Super excited.
So you're
to have
not
him
the
next
youngest
season.
on the team.
I am not.
The only way this team survives and competes, every year somebody new has to step in.
Yep.
Right.
100%. And then our third baseman, Avian DeRosa, he's a junior. Had a great season. I think he batted over 380 this year. Great glove at third base. Great energy guy. Our left fielder, Andrew Schiebel. Good kid to be around every day. He was a good utility guy come playoffs. If Cole was on the mound or I was on the mound or injuries happen, like Kelvin, our second baseman, got injured. Against Dennis Yarmouth, he had to come out, and Andrew had to play second, so he was a good utility guy for us. Colin Lush in center field, great glove. He was great for us all year. He was an SEC All-Star, batted over 300 for us as well. Saved a lot of plays for me when I was on the mound. So he was a huge
Appreciate
shout-out.
those defenders, huh?
Oh yeah, especially him. Our ballpark is very pitcher friendly, no fence or anything, and he tracks every single ball down out there. So he was great out there. And then Carter Martins, another sophomore, he had a great year on the mound. He closed out the state championship for us. I think it was a 4-pitch save.
Yeah.
He struck out the first kid on 3 pitches, and then there was a suicide squeeze pop up for a double play there in the game. He had a good year.
That's awesome.
Coach, am I forgetting anybody?
I'm sure you are. Lucas Pimento.
Oh my God, how am I
Don't
forgetting?
forget
He's like my
Lululemon.
Lululemon. Oh. Lucas Pimento is a sophomore. He was our DH or outfielder, depending on the situation of the game. He had a good year. McBride. God, I don't know how I forgot that. Wow. But yeah, so Lucas was a good guy to be around. He's a super funny kid. He always kept the energy well.
Good.
For the team. And then Brady McBride, our superstar behind the plate, had a game-winning hit in the championship. He batted over 400 this year. He was a wall behind the plate. He was great to pitch
Literally?
to all year. Yeah, literally.
And that championship game to come through like that,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
is,
exactly.
Oh,
that's a lifetime memory right there for
Swing
him.
of a lifetime.
It's
for him.
not only that. So we were down to 2 outs, 2 strikes. Batter gets hit. Two balls, 2 strikes, base hit. Still 2 outs. Braden comes up. He's got 2 strikes on him, fouls off 3 pitches, and on the 4th pitch hits the double to give us the win.
That's
so cool.
that's ice water in his veins right
Awesome.
now.
It was amazing.
With that situation that you just described, Coach, that's ice water in that case.
You're one pitch away from
right?
being over. Yeah?
Right?
Yeah. You're down to your last
That's
strike.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, and just elaborating on Cooper's running down his teammates, which the stuff that he's letting you guys know, it's great that
I love that.
a
It's
sophomore
awesome.
knows all the stuff about his team. But yeah, I mean, our biggest thing is, like I said, every year we have a minimum roster of 12 kids. We need every single one of those kids from. I mean, we have a kid on our team, Mason Brown. He's a pinch runner for our catcher. That's all the kid does. You know, not once the kid complained, Coach, I'm
Is
not
he a
playing.
young player?
He's a sophomore. He's
Sophomore.
going to be a junior. You know, not once he said, Coach, I'd like to get playing time. I want. Not once. Every single game, put his helmet on and ran for our catcher. You know, and
That's a team player?
that's a team player,
player,
right?
yeah.
He has as much
Absolutely.
to do with us winning it as anyone else.
And that's big nowadays, where you can find a kid like that who's a team player, putting a team ahead of himself because it's going to benefit the team. And that's rare nowadays.
Yeah, and when you have a small roster and you don't have 2 and 3 backup catchers, you have one guy that's your catcher.
Hopefully he doesn't get hurt during the
and
year.
that was one of the reasons he pinch ran for him every single time. It's like, nope, no chance of jamming fingers, breaking a hand, nothing. You get out, somebody else will run for you.
Right.
But that's the whole thing. I mean, same thing with guys coming back. Yeah, we lose Javi Borges, outstanding shortstop. 2024 complete game at Polar Park. Has the record for tied to the record for most strikeouts in a state championship game
As a
with
sophomore.
14 as a sophomore. Colaruda has been great for us. We lose those guys, but at the same time we have like Andrew Schiebel is a huge part of our 2027 team. He's got to replace somebody.
Right.
And we lose a shortstop, we lose a first baseman, we lose a unbelievable pitcher that we've had
Yep.
for the last 3 seasons, and that's his job to
Well,
lose.
I personally think that the future bodes well for you, Coach, and your program. Meeting Cooper today and the descriptions we're hearing of players, certainly your players have come together as a unit and decided it's team first.
Yep.
Which, like I said, to me, that's rare nowadays.
Absolutely.
And that bodes well for you, Coach. That bodes well for the program and young men like this, like Cooper, who and all the guys on the team who, like I said, it's team first. That's how we're going to win. And your record proves that. It speaks for itself.
Right. With that being said, we will take our last break. If you want to call when we get back, 508-222-1320. The state champion, the Division IV Massachusetts state champion, Seekonk Boys Baseball. We'll be back with them and more right after this. Hey, welcome back. You are watching and listening for Deep Sports Talk here in the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, for deepsportstalk.com. I just made everybody laugh because I'm reading this message I got from the chief sports editor, Nate Rollins. I meant to say alumni, not ex-alumni. I'm referring to the new Brockton head football coach, Mike Norman Jr., third coach in 5 years. Congratulations to him. We're going to try to get him on, too. We got to try to see if we can get that going. Again, new football coach, breaking news over at Brockton High School. So, with that being said, I want to...
Nobody noticed it, Tom.
Yeah, I did. He did. He busted my chops. You were too much in thought.
Nobody in this room, I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you took a second and you weren't caught up in your thought, you would have been all over me between breaks. So, anyway... let's go over I'm going to make sure I get this average right. So I got Kyle I want to make sure I pronounce the names right. Kyle Farris batted 500, right? Griffin Provers, it says .5, so I'm thinking that's 500, right?
Yeah, but they had minimum at bats. But you're correct. When they had an opportunity,
They took advantage
they
of
took
it.
advantage of it. Absolutely.
And then, of course, Lucas Garcia, he batted 500. Then you get into the guy. He's an okay ball player. We'll talk about Braden McBride. He batted 416. We don't want to give him a big head coop. No. And then we got DeRosa. He batted 384. Borges batted 380. Robinson batted, I want to make sure I get it lined up, or I don't want to get these guys, they'll be really yelling at you if I mess this up, Coop. How do you say Collins' last name?
Lush.
You said it, not me.
Lush.
Right, 347. Coop batted 281. That's still 281. That's still pretty respectful. Cabrera 480, 242, and the other guys just younger players. But that's pretty good. Their on bases were awesome. Listen to this. We'll start with McBride, 982. DeRosa 848. Borges 936. Let me see. Where's Colin? Colin was 870, 877. Lush was 877. Rob Robinson was 900.
900, yeah.
That's pretty. You having a lineup like that?
With the pitching they have
And the
those
pitching.
stats right there, that's why they're the state champion.
I only mentioned 2 pitches. Coop was in studio and the other kid. And Coop was 5-1, only had a 1.47 strikeout. He only wanted to strike out 41. He felt bad for the rest of the kids on the schedule.
Yeah.
And then Aruda had 90 Ks, 127, 1.27 ERA, and he was 7-3. And that's not the whole pitching lineup either. That's
Just those two guys
yeah,
right there is 12 wins
exactly.
between them.
Right, exactly,
Like you said, what's the other rest of the guys doing?
Yeah,
exactly.
our starters have 16 wins out of our 18.
Yeah, we don't want to show them off. They're going to get big. We don't want to show them off. But no, that's awesome. That's totally awesome. So I want to ask a question, and I think Jimmy gave you the question, and you elaborated on the power rankings. How does that work in baseball, in high school baseball? I got an idea for football, because I yell about it all the time when we do our playoff show. But I was curious, how does that all work?
So it's also hard for me to explain. You are kept at 5 runs. So you can beat someone 10-0, doesn't mean nothing. You only capped at the 5.
Yep.
I believe football's at 4.
Is it 4?
Something like that.
I thought football was also strength of schedule, too,
Or
right?
that-
Strength of schedule does come into football.
It
Okay.
comes into baseball as well. So your opponent's rating versus the runs that you score
Yeah.
gives you your rating.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
if you play an opponent has a rating of 5.2,
Yeah.
and your margin of victory is 3 point something, let's say,
Yeah.
your overall is like 8. So
Right.
that's how they do it.
Okay.
So when you play a school that is a minus whatever, because there is, if you look at the MIA brackets, there is their margin of victory. This team's a minus 3 point or 0.3 something.
Going into the next season, right? Am I saying that
You know,
right?
they wipe everything off at the end of the season.
Oh, they do.
It starts all over again. So the third week of the season, power rankings will come out with based on the games that they have played so far.
Does it change? Like, let's say, like you guys went, what was it, 4-0?
Yeah.
You lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So then you go in the season, you guys go crazy mental, and you start winning all these games and go on that great run. That's why we're here today. Does that change every week? Do they update that?
Yes, twice a week.
Okay. so-
Tuesdays and Fridays they come out with the new power rankings.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the score. I should ask Jimmy is what I should have done, but I didn't.
That's how they come out. So
Like we talked about in previous shows when
Yeah.
we had some coaches on, I just don't get the power rankings. I really don't. I mean, maybe because of my age and I'm old school, I think
Yeah.
if you have a losing record, how can you get into the tournament?
here's the problem with that.
That was my next question.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, there are schools that are playing tough opponents, but they're losing almost every. Like those schools that are minus point something runs per game,
Yeah.
Right.
they're playing opponents that score 5 point something a game.
Right.
So that gives them. So when you add them together, it gives them the power ranking numbers.
And in
Back
your-
in the day, you had to win 10 or 50% of your schedule.
Right. And like in your case, where you're playing more powerful schools and you're winning these games, so it benefits you.
Correct.
Why
So,
we turn
I
this
mean,
to
I-
algebra? It's like algebra. I'm getting a headache right now. I really am.
I love to see the formula they use. I really would, because
But like,
Well, you can go on the MIA
it would
website
explain it more.
and you can see it. It's still hard to understand, but I'll give you an example. I know we're coming down to the end here. In 24, the Bourne won 4 games in the season.
right?
But because they play in the SEC, which is a great league,
Yep.
they played opponents that had great records.
Yep.
So that gave them, they made the tournament with 3 wins. And guess what? They were Division V state champions.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
I could see that.
So
but-
it proves out that the schools that don't play anyone per se, that
Why can't we just keep it simple?
We-
If you have
we-
a winning
we all-
record, get in, and then if you get your butt kicked, you get a butt kicked.
We all know the power rankings, when they put this system in every sport, was to give more schools more opportunities to get into the state tournament.
Right.
And obviously it's working because, like the coach just said, you got a team with 3 wins winning the state championship.
Yeah.
But how many times can you average that out? Not the like we're getting ready to wind down, like Coach said, but if you look at it and you do how many teams did have the losing records, I don't think it's that strong of a number to use that formula to get the teams that, like you said, born that legit win the table, like the Red Sox did in the wild card the year they won the World Series.
Right.
Good example.
it kind of the same thing, right? The wild card didn't exist. How many teams wouldn't have made the playoffs?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I could-
And I know there's been at least a couple of teams since the wild card era that have made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
If that didn't exist, you would have never said Red Sox could have won that World Series, right?
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
same thing with the MIA tournament. Bourne would have never had a chance,
Yeah, exactly.
and they wiped everyone out on their
Right.
way.
And they went on a run.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like we talked about, you guys decided, hey, we can play baseball. So we
Yeah.
can stop playing baseball.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then what'd you do? You won the state title.
Yeah. The
But
t-
I just think if you look at all the like Bourne and so, I don't think the numbers as great as if you look at the teams that have legit winning records. Like one last stupid analogy: football. West Bridgewater goes 10-0, but they play all the Mayflower teams.
Right.
And because their schedule wasn't that strong, they didn't get invited. And I think that's wrong. At least give them a chance to get bounced or get a chance to compete.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all right. Well,
Well, to me, it doesn't matter who you play. Your record still has to
means something.
mean something.
I mean, these
Exactly.
guys proved it.
Right.
They proved it on the baseball field. Once they decided to let those other teams win. I'm not kidding. they went on the run. But before we go, I just want to let you know that Jimmy and I with 4 Deep Sports Talk and WARA want to congratulate you guys on a great season. Thank you for coming on. It was great to meet you finally. I know we were playing tag a little bit, trying to get this squared in a way. And from what the principal sounds, we want to thank the principal for calling in today. That was nice. And just congrats, guys. Great
you.
run.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I
Thank you.
really appreciate it.
Like I said, your program works. Obviously, 5 state finals in a row, winning 4 of them. You're doing something right,
Right.
obviously. And kudos to guys like Cooper and the rest of the team that goes out there and plays the games
Yeah,
and playing the game the right way
right.
and putting team first. That's why they are where they are.
Exactly. For Jim Sylvia, I'm Dominic Damiano. We hope you enjoyed this hour of 4 Deep Sports Talk as we had the privilege of having the Division IV Massachusetts Baseball State Champions, the Warriors from Seekonk High School. We will catch you next time. Everyone have a fantastic weekend.